Well, hello all. Welcome to my very first ever YouTube video. I'm Anders, and this is my virtual puppet Zarrex. Now, Zarrex today is in the Feed the Beast Horizons Daybreakers world, and he's been exploring this for a few hours, and just want to take a few minutes not to go through everything that we've done, but just to show you some quick wins that we've actually worked out on this video, and some things are actually a lot of fun. So one of the things is that the Feed the Beast pack is actually very good with multiple mods that can do different things, like this, the Jetpack. Now, there's about 3 jetpacks in this from what I've seen from other videos and other people have been doing. I've got the mechanism one here, and this is rather cool. So I can turn jetpack on, and we can go up, we can hover, and we can move around. But moving around is actually quite slow. So we need some extra wings, I think. Let's just get back into this mode. Here we go. Now we're flying, and if we hold shift down, we can really go flying. And if we move space as well, we can actually maintain our height as we're going flying around. So this actually is really cool. We've spent a lot of time just flying around because it's just so cool to do. So I'm going to come back here again now and turn that off. But yeah, flying around with a jetpack, oh yeah, and a glider, that just has to be done for the win. It's so much fun. So, as I said, Zarrex has been mucking around in this Daybreakers pack for a few hours now, and it's a really nice pack. It's got lots of different ways of doing things. It's got non-standard packs in there as well, so you haven't got your bog standard computer craft, applied energetics, Tinker's Construct or anything like that. You've actually got some of the less known and newer versions of packs. So for instance, we've got this modular helmet which comes from Modular Armors, which is the new modular suits kit, which is actually rather cool. They've got some new ways of doing things on there, but actually it looks really good when you actually put it on. And there's actually some ball components as well to do with that kit as well. You've got some new weapons as well, using magnanimous tools and magnanimous gens and magnanimous sticks, and you get all that from these trees, which is why I wanted to bring you here. So you can just see down there, I'll go down in a second, but you can just see there that if you dig into the tree, you'll find the blue gems in the middle of the tree. You dig them out with an axe, and you can use those tools to actually make a sword and a pickaxe, which is rather good. And then by having a nice mash on the trees, you get saplings and you get magnanimous sticks, and you'll need 3 of the magnanimous sticks to actually make a magnanimous rod to actually be able to put the tools together. And you put the tools together in an anvil. So that's middle game territory for that, unless you can find a lot of iron quite early on. So I'm just going to gently jet back over to here just so I can show you what I've been doing. So the flying around with the old jetpack inspired me to and Zarrex to actually build this base, and Zarrex has got quite excited about it. On the basis he wanted to make it look like real military. He wanted to be Commander-in-Chief, his own military helipad and airfield and airport. So he's made himself a command centre. He's going to put all the industrial and factory gubbins underneath in there. He's got the wind turbines and the solar panels to start feeding the place energy, but it's still getting inundated during the night with the local inhabitants that want to eat your face. So to that end, we've used a little bit of ET defense, as not ET as in Steven Spielberg, this is ET as in extraterrestrial defense. So we've got these barbed wire fences up there which actually look really good, and also what's rather nifty about them is the fact that zombies and the like do actually try to get through them and actually die. So you can just go around getting the mob drops. We've also got apple, tea and pears, or whatever it's called, mod pack on here. Oh no, DecoCraft. So DecoCraft allowed us to create this this mod pack here, so that once we put this ladder tree up and it grew rather big, we built this little bridge path between here and another Minecrafter's base over there as well, so that we could play together on this world. I managed to get a mob farm quite early on, and we've got some ender seeds, so we've made some ender pearls very early on as well for the win, where it was rather useful, so that got the first ones going, but this made it all look very pretty, and the turbines there from Mechanism and the advanced solar really do get the energy going once you've upgraded the energy cells. And nice thing about Mechanism is you don't have to use completely new crafting recipes to build the next level of items up. You actually just incorporate the old item and build around it to get your upgrade to the next level. And you do that with the cables, and you do that with the cells and all of their components. That's really good. We're also using this quantum entropy accelerator. We're feeding it cobblestone, using transport pipes down there with a weld anchor with the water and the lava to put cobblestone into it, and that gives us 2000 RF ticks per second, which is feeding the energy cube. But it actually creates too much cobblestone. So, thanks for the hints on the internet here. Absolutely, you get this Azure condenser, and this is the second one in the tables, and you can see here I'm creating blaze rods because I've trained the book, the Tome of Alchemical Knowledge, to know what this is and how to make it, and anything with an EMC value can actually be replicated and cloned in here, and we're cloning it using cobblestone, so free energy, we love it. There's not a major way of sorting, so unlike applied energetics, there's not a major sorting solution in here. There are some sorting pipes which can do a bit of work for you, but generally your inventory is going to be pretty manual and pretty boring from that perspective, but at the same time colourful. We've also got DecoCraft in here, can put some interesting little things in. Mechanism brings all the machine gun turrets and the like. Yeah, okay, we like it. You can make everything look a lot of fun. Micro blocks as well, and chisels get you some interesting finishing effects. Well worth, let me say it again, well worth getting the Azure condenser if you don't want to be fighting for resources for the whole time you're playing the game. Another one for the win, here we go. Also, to use the Mechanism jetpack and that, we charge it up in here with hydrogen. So the electrolytic separator, we put that in there. Make sure you've got dumping excess out, otherwise it will stop working. So it will dump the oxygen out. Later on when we go to space, then we'll actually be able to move that oxygen off to somewhere else more useful, and actually reutilize it in the rockets and space stations, which would be rather good. And then you've got your charge pad. Charge pad is really useful for the drill. The redstonic drill is awesome. But you also use it, you've got inside the where are we? Yeah, inside here you've got leadstone energy inside your modular suits, and so you need to charge that up as well. So you will need a charge pad. Here's your deco bench for creating all your arty stuff, like R2D2 and cubes and everything else. Amazing mod that. Digital miner from Mechanism. Wow, this took some stuff to actually build, but this does the mining for you. I've got it turned off at the moment, and I don't have it automated to put it off into put it off into the factory to turn all the ores into nuggets. Don't have that done at this moment in time, but I've got this set to the maximum range of 32 blocks out, and it will basically find an ore and teleport it back here. And you can see I've got silk touch on, so it brings the raw ore here, so I can maximize the way that I crush and compress the ores to maximize the return and get double the inventory for it. So that's for the win. Really useful. Does take a lot of power though, so be careful with it. Also, I suggest you keep it quite low down in your base, just from the point of view of how far it can actually reach, but very useful. It does pick up a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff really quickly. Do watch your power. The iDrill will use the redstone modifier. These things here, so these things, the metallurgic infusers, you've got to have 4 of these. You see, what I've done is I filled this up with redstone, filled it up with diamond, filled it up with obsidian, and then coal. Use the enrichment chamber to get compressed items. So let me just show you here. You want to take 1 coal. Actually, I'm going to need another coal. Right, so in here we've got 470 carbon. I'm just making some steel. If I put 1 in there, that goes to 480. So 1 piece of coal equals 10 units in the infuser. Let's just put this in there and get that smelting up. Alright. If you put a bit of coal in the enrichment chamber and you make sure that it's not automatically going off over there, it will create these compressed carbon. You can do the same with redstone dust, you can do the same with diamond dust, you can do the same with obsidian. If you take this compressed carbon, right, we're at 480, you put that in there, you're now at 580. Your 1 bit of carbon has just been folded 10 times more value. So if you want to convert your items tenfold, then you need to use the enrichment chamber to make compressed items, or compressed strips of carbon, diamond, redstone and obsidian. Redstone there's a lot of, great, but this makes 1 to 10 ratio. Diamonds, we're all a bit more precious about diamonds, even though there seems to be quite a lot more in this pack. I've only got 13. So instead of using 1 bit of dust and infusing it to make some of the bits and pieces you need, suddenly you can use that strip and get the equivalent of 10 diamonds out of it. Absolute win. Go off to here. We've got elevators in here, so we can go up to the launch pad at the very top here. I've put that right in the middle of the landing zone, and if I go down here, there we go, and back up again, I can get into the base. This is going to have open computers in it and make it look like the command center for the air traffic control, basically. You can see here I'm just doing some stuff around the power. I'm saying me, but really Zarrex is who's doing all this work. And these are Glownstone's covers, which one makes the area very, very bright, but also look quite cool for a business computer room as well, which is what it's going to look like in the future. So there's a brief overview of everything that I've been doing in helping Zarrex move around and create the world that he wants and be his own commander-in-chief of his military base. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope to talk to you all soon. Cheers, bye.